In a world filled with many names, many voices calling for attention, many powers promising help, escape, or control, there is one name that stands above them all. Not because it is shouted louder, not because it is repeated more, but because it carries authority that does not need permission. One name that carries victory, one name that carries life, one name that carries eternity within it, the name of Jesus. The Bible says, "Therefore God also has highly exalted him and given him the name which is above every name." Not a name that was voted in, not a name that was earned by popularity, a name bestowed by heaven itself. Before demons ever spoke, before sickness ever entered the earth, before fear ever learned how to whisper, that name already existed. Jesus. This is not just a beautiful name. This is not just a religious title. This is not tradition. This is power in spoken form. When the name of Jesus is spoken, darkness does not argue. It recognizes. Fear does not resist. It responds. Chains do not pretend. They remember. Demons do not negotiate. They tremble. Sickness does not debate. It bows. Storms do not struggle. They grow quiet. This is not poetry. This is not emotion. This is not exaggeration. This is truth. When Jesus walked the earth, he did not shout long speeches to prove authority. He did not gather crowds to convince power to work. Authority followed him because authority belonged to him. He spoke one word and demons left, not because the demon was weak, but because the name behind the word was eternal. He touched one life and sickness disappeared, not because the sickness agreed, but because creation knows its creator. He stood before death itself, not nervous, not rushed, not threatened. And he said, "Lazarus, come forth." And death did something no one expects death to do. It obeyed. Why? Because death recognizes a higher authority. Because graves understand that they are temporary. Because the name of Jesus is not challenged by time, space, or decay. There is power in his name. The name of Jesus is not weak. It is not aged. It is not worn out. It has not lost its authority with generations. Time does not dilute it. Culture does not redefine it. Darkness does not cancel it. The same name that opened blind eyes still opens hearts today. The same name that broke chains still breaks chains today. The same name that raised the dead still brings life today. The Bible declares, "Salvation is found in no one else. For there is no other name under heaven given to mankind by which we must be saved." Not many names, not similar names, not equal names. One. No other name saves, no other name heals, no other name delivers, only Jesus. And here's what many do not realize. The power is not only in shouting his name. The power is in who hears it when it is spoken. When you whisper his name in pain, he hears. When your voice breaks in weakness and all you can say is, "Jesus," he understands the prayer you could not finish. When you cry his name in the middle of the night, with no strength left to explain, he responds. When you call his name in faith, even if your faith is trembling, he moves. You may not know how to pray. You may not know the right words. You may not know how to explain your situation. But heaven understands one word clearly: Jesus. That name carries peace into anxious rooms. That name carries authority into chaotic lives. That name carries victory into impossible situations. Every knee will bow to that name, not because they are forced, but because truth demands recognition. Every tongue will confess that name. Heaven honors it. Hell fears it. Not someday only, even now. So today, speak his name over your life. Jesus over your fear. Jesus over your home. Jesus over your future. Jesus over your mind. Jesus over your battles. Speak it slowly. Speak it boldly. Speak it faithfully. Not because you are strong, but because He is. Lift His name. Trust His name. Rest in His name. Worship His name. For there is no other name like Jesus, and there will never be.